Good morning everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to explain you chapter 2 of the first flight book, Nelson Mandela Long Walk to Freedom. I'm not going to explain you the entire parts, all the parts that are included in your syllabus. I'm just going to explain you today page number 16, 17 and 18. Okay. This Long Walk to Freedom is actually an autobiography written by Nelson Mandela. But the entire book, the entire autobiography is not prescribed in your syllabus. In this book, The First Flight, there is only an extract that has been taken from the autobiography of Nelson Mandela and included in your syllabus. Extract means a part of it. Some parts of the book is included in your syllabus. And which part is there? The part where we find the historical speech, the famous speech of Nelson Mandela, which he delivered after he became the first black president of South Africa. Okay, we also find some parts of the struggle, the experiences that Nelson Mandela is going to share with us, the experiences, the difficulties, the hurdles, the problems that he went through while fighting for freedom. Okay, as you all know that South Africa was ruled by the whites for about 3 centuries. So 1 century is 100 years. So you can imagine the kind of the difficulty or a difficult life that the blacks had faced when the whites were ruling South Africa for more than 3 centuries. When the whites were ruling the blacks were deprived of their freedom. The blacks were deprived of equality. The blacks were deprived of its, its freedom, its political rights. They were living like slaves in their own motherland. Okay, they were very badly tortured by the British because the British followed the system of apartheid in South Africa. So what is apartheid? Apartheid is the discrimination of one race by the other. So the blacks were discriminated by the whites. Although it was a land of the blacks, it was the land of the South African people, but they had no say, they had no right, they had no freedom, they had to live like slaves. They had to live in fear all the time in their own country. And some of the freedom fighters like Nelson Mandela and many more realized that they have to do something to free their motherland, to free the people, free the blacks of the domination of the whites. So they fought, they struggled, and finally they were successful in getting the freedom back after 3 centuries. So today in the first part, what we are going to read is the famous speech, the famous inaugural speech made by Nelson Mandela after he became the first black president of South Africa. And this is a very important and a historical speech, because this speech is makes a lot of sense. It gives it's a very powerful speech. So without any further delay, let us go directly to the speech. Now it was the 10th May. Okay, 10th May was the day when the people across the globe from various countries had come to South Africa to be a part of the celebration. What is the celebration? That the blacks, the South African, finally got its freedom after 3 centuries. And lot of politicians, dignitaries from more than 140 countries came to be a part of this occasion, to be a part of this happy moment, because in history this kind of human disaster, okay, was never seen. Human disaster means discrimination of one race by the other. Okay, so this discrimination, this apartheid is going to end. So everybody was very, very happy, and so they have come to be a part of the celebration of South Africa. Now 10th May, dawn bright and clear. 10th May in South Africa, the morning started. Dawn means began. The morning began with a lot of brightness and a clear sky. Why was it bright and clear? Because everybody was happy, because the fear was over. They were no longer slaves. They were free to live, move freely in their own country. So the 10th May began with a bright and clear sky. For the past few days, I had been pleasantly besieged by dignitaries and world leaders who were coming to pay their respect before the inauguration. Even before the inauguration, even before the oath taking, where Nelson Mandela is going to take the oath as the first black president, even much before that, Nelson Mandela started receiving a lot of good wishes, okay, which were coming from the world leaders, appreciating, congratulating the victory of South Africa. The inauguration would be the largest gathering ever of international leaders on South African soil. Never ever before South Africa had seen, world leaders coming together to visit the soil of South Africa. This shows that all the political leaders, all the dignitaries, all the world leaders have gathered to be a part of the victory, to be a part of the celebration, to be a part of the happy occasion, because everybody was happy that South Africa is finally free. South Africa is finally, it has finally been successful in overcoming the worst human disaster which they have gone through, okay, for 3 centuries. So they were all happy, and they had all come to be a part of the celebration in the African soil. The ceremonies took place in the lovely sandstone amphitheater formed by the Union Building in Pretoria. So where did the inaugural ceremony take place? Oath-taking ceremony took place. It took place in the lovely sandstone. Sandstone is it's like we have the Red Fort in India, which is made of the red color. So it was an amphitheater where the celebration took place. Amphitheater means open air that shows that people were free. So the inaugural oath-taking ceremony took place in the lovely sandstone amphitheater formed by the Union Building in Pretoria. That is, Pretoria is the capital of South Africa. So the oath-taking ceremony is going to happen here. For decades means how many decades? Decade means how many decades? 3 decades. This South Africa had been the seat of white supremacy, and now it was the site of a rainbow gathering of different colors and nations for the inauguration of South Africa's first democratic non-racial government. So earlier, this land was dominated by the whites. The whites were supreme. The whites ruled the blacks. The blacks lived like slaves in their own motherland. And today, it's a beautiful sight to see, because it's like a rainbow gathering. Why rainbow has been used here? Rainbow means not the rainbow that you see in the sky. Here, rainbow means it is a gathering of people of different nations, of different colors, blacks, whites, people of different nations all over the world have gathered together, assembled together to be a part of the victory of South Africa, to be a part of this beautiful celebration where South Africa has finally got its freedom from the British. And It was a rainbow gathering of different colors and nations for the installation of South Africa's first democratic non-racial government. That means from today, what is going to start in South Africa? Installation means a new beginning. From today, South Africa is going to have a democratic government. I am sure you will know what is a democracy. Democracy is a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And this government is going to be a non-racial government. Non-racial means this government is not going to be formed by only one race. Earlier in South Africa, the government was formed by only one race, and that was the whites. And today, the government would be formed by the people of different races. So it's not just one race. On that lovely autumn day, I was accompanied by my daughter Jinani. So Nelson Mandela was accompanied. Who went along with him? His daughter Jinani, to be a part of the celebration where Nelson Mandela is going to take the oath for the first president of South Africa. On the podium, Mr. de Klerk was first sworn in as second deputy president. Then Thabo Mbeki was sworn in as the first deputy president. So Mr. de Klerk was he took the first oath. Then who took the second oath? Thabo Mbeki took the second oath. And finally, who will be taking the oath? Nelson Mandela will be taking the oath because he won the election. There was an election, people voted, and Nelson Mandela's party was the African National Congress, that is ANC, and he won the election. He got 252 seats out of 400 seats, and that is why Nelson Mandela's party, that is the African National Congress, is going to form the democratic government. And who is going to be the leader of that party? Nelson Mandela was the leader of that party. So Nelson Mandela is going to be the president of South Africa. Now, second deputy president, first deputy president, I am sure you all know, like when we have the beauty contest, we have the second runners up, then we have the first runners up, and then finally we have the Miss India. So it's like that. Okay, so the second deputy president was Mr. de Klerk, the first deputy president was Thabo Mbeki, and finally Nelson Mandela would be the president. When it was my turn, I pledged to obey and uphold the Constitution and to devote myself to the well-being of the Republic and its people. I am sure you all know what a Constitution is. Constitution is a book where the rules and regulations are written down. Okay, the rules and regulations are written down for the people of the country to follow, as well as for the government to follow. So when it was his turn, what did Nelson Mandela do? Nelson Mandela pledged. Pledge means he promised. He promised to obey and uphold the Constitution. That means he promised to abide by, to follow all the rules and regulations that is written in the Constitution of South Africa. And he also promised to devote himself to the well-being of the Republic and its people. So he also promised that he would do everything for the well-being of the people of South Africa, and also for the well-being of South Africa. Okay, to the assembled guest and the watching world, I said, that means now we are going to read the famous speech that was delivered by Nelson Mandela to the rainbow gathering who had gathered there to be a part of the celebration. So this is what he delivered. Nelson Mandela delivered in the oath-taking ceremony as a president, as the first black president of South Africa, when South Africa got its freedom back after 3 decades. Okay, so he begins his speech like this: today, all of us do, by our presence here, confer glory and hope to newborn liberty. What is the meaning of liberty? Liberty means earlier you were not free. You were under some kind of bondage. Liberty means to get the freedom back. So here he mean to say that South Africa is getting its freedom back, uh, because it did not have its freedom. It was ruled by the whites. So he says that today all of us do by our presence here confer glory. Glory means liberty. Okay, because liberty means before this South Africa was oppressed. They lived under oppression. They have overcome oppression now. They have overcome oppression by the whites. So they have got the liberty back and hope to a newborn liberty. So we have got a liberty back and we have a lot of hope in our mind, okay, about our newborn liberty. Out of the experience of an extraordinary human disaster that lasted too long must be born a society of which all humanity will be proud. So here Nelson Mandela is addressing the gathering, the huge gathering, and he is telling the people that we, the people of South Africa, we experience an extraordinary human disaster. What is extraordinary? That means no nation earlier had faced such kind of human disaster. A disaster means they were so cruelly, so brutally, so badly treated by the whites that never ever in the history of the world any nation had faced such a disaster. Okay, human disaster. So it is called an extraordinary disaster that lasted too long. That means the blacks suffered human disaster for about 3 decades. That was a long period of time they had suffered apartheid. Now, today, he is saying that a new society will be born of which all humanity will be proud. That means from today in South Africa, since we have got our freedom back, from today in South Africa, we are going to have a democratic country and we are going to have such a society which humanity, that is mankind, will be proud of. Such a society in future, the society which from today South Africa is going to follow, is going to have. We, who is we? We are the blacks. Nelson Mandela is addressing we who were outlaws. Outlaws means we were we were treated as outlaws. We were deprived of equality. We were deprived of our political rights. We were not given those. Although this land belonged to us, Africa belonged to us, we were deprived of all kind of equalities by the whites. Not so long ago, that means still a few days back, we were deprived of all kind of equalities by the whites in our own country. Have today been given the rare privilege to be the host of the nations of the world on our own soil. Okay, and today we have got this opportunity, we have got this rare privilege, a chance to host such a beautiful occasion for all the people of the nation. Till yesterday, we were treated as outlaws, and today in our country, we have got the honor, we have got the privilege to, hold such a beautiful occasion where South Africa is going to see freedom. South Africa is going to get its freedom back. We thank all of our distinguished international guests for having come to take possession with the people of our country of what is after all a common victory for justice, for peace, for human dignity. So Nelson Mandela is thanking all the people who are present today on this oath-taking ceremony to be a part of the celebration. What celebration? The victory of apartheid. So he is thankful to all the people who have come all the way from different parts of the world to be a part of this beautiful celebration. So he is saying that today it's not a victory only of South Africa, or it is not only a victory of the blacks. It is a victory of mankind. and he's saying that, it's a common victory. We fought against the white for justice, for equality, for peace, for respect, for dignity, and today we have got it back. And today, when we have got it back, it is like a victory for humanity, for every mankind, okay? Because this kind of human disaster had never ever happened before in anywhere in this world. So our victory means a victory of everybody. Our victory means victory of humanity. Our victory means a victory of mankind. So we all are very happy today, and I'm thankful to all the distinguished guests for being a part of this happy occasion. Okay, so this is what Nelson Mandela is telling, addressing the people. We have, who is this we? We is the blacks. We have at last achieved our political emancipation. So now Nelson Mandela is saying that we blacks have finally achieved. Achieve means we have been successful in getting back our political freedom. From today, we will no longer be slaves of the whites. We can live without fear. We can live freely in our own soil, in our own motherland. So, political emancipation means political freedom. We pledge ourselves. So, you can see that everywhere Nelson Mandela is not saying I. Okay, he is using the we, which means it is a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. The use of we tells that it's going to be a government of the people. So he's saying that from today we pledge ourselves. Let us all promise ourselves, okay, to liberate all our people from the continuing bondage of poverty, deprivation, suffering, gender, and other discrimination. So we have overcome apartheid. We have got our freedom back. I am very glad and I'm very happy, and let us promise that from today we will try to free our nation from any kind of bondage. Bondage means any kind of binding that we are going through. We people are suffering. So we will try to remove that. It will be a collaborative effort. It will be just not my work, my responsibility to do it. It will be the responsibility of all of us, because it's a democratic government. Okay, so it will be our responsibility to remove the bondage of poverty. In South African soil, no one is going to live in poverty. We shall try a level best to remove, to eliminate, to eradicate poverty. We will also try to eliminate deprivation. If anybody is deprived of anything in this soil of Africa, we will try to remove that. Okay, that is what they are promising. We will also try to remove and eliminate suffering. If there is any kind of suffering that is going on in the South African soil, be it gender, be it race, be it color, be it any kind of discrimination, we are going to remove it. And any other discrimination means anybody is unhappy about anything, we are trying to put in our effort to remove all this and make South Africa from today a happy place to live in, where everybody will be happy. There will be no poverty, no binding, no bondage, no suffering, no discrimination, and everybody will be equal in this soil of Africa. This is very important, where he says never, never, and never again. Why do you think there is a repetition of the word never, never, and never? This shows the stress. The repetition never, never, and never, it emphasizes that we, the people of South Africa, we have been through a lot of, pain. We have been through, or we have seen a lot of suffering for 3 decades in our own soil. So never, never, and never are we blacks going to let it again happen in our own soil. That shows his firmness. That shows the positivity. Okay, that South Africa will never face such a human disaster in future. So that is a promise, that is a pledge, that also shows a patriotic feeling of the people of South Africa that this is our land and we are not going to give our land to any other people. We will not let our country be ruled by anybody else. In our country, everybody is going to live under the free and the open sky. So that shows their enthusiasm, their positivity and their patriotism. Never, never and never again shall it be that this beautiful land will again experience the oppression of one by the other. In Africa, nobody will have the right to oppress the blacks. Okay, everybody in this soil of South Africa is going to live in equality. Everybody is going to live freely. There will be no exploitation, there will be no cruelty anymore in this soil of South Africa. The Nelson Mandela then finally concludes his speech by saying that the sun shall never set. What do you mean by this? The sun? What does he mean by when he says the sun shall never set? That means South Africa has got its freedom back after a lot of effort, after a lot of sacrifice, after a lot of trouble. So he's saying that in South Africa, the sun shall never set. The sun here means to say that freedom is never going to die in South Africa. Once that we have got our freedom back, we will try our best to keep this freedom alive. We South African people will be free forever. Nobody will dare to even come and rule us. So this is what actually he mean to say, that the sun shall never set on so glorious a human achievement. Glorious means such a grand achievement. South Africa has able to achieve a grand achievement. What is this grand achievement he is talking about? Here he is talking about the freedom that they have got back, the apartheid that they have been successful in removing in their own soil. So this freedom, they are going to treasure it, they are going to preserve it forever in the South African soil. Let freedom reign. So what is Nelson Mandela trying to say? That in this beautiful land of South Africa, everywhere there will be only what is going to be prevalent all around. There will be only freedom, freedom which is going to continue forever and ever and ever till mankind is alive. So in South Africa, there will be no oppression, there will be no cruelty, there will be no discrimination, no apartheid. South Africa will from today will only see freedom, and freedom is going to reign all over the nation. God bless Africa. So he is also seeking blessing from the God, from the Almighty, to bless Africa, that Africa might always preserve liberation, justice, equality and freedom, and everybody can be happy in this beautiful soil, which in this beautiful land which they have got back after such a long period. I'm sure you have understood the first part of Nelson Mandela's Long Walk to Freedom. Today I explained you page number 16, 17 and 18. In my next video, I will be explaining you the next part. Please stay tuned with the video, and I'm sure you have understood. If you have any doubt, do text me and I would try to clear your doubts. Thank you. That's all for today. Have a great day.